I want you to envision what difference can you make to shape the world.
Good morning, partners. This is Sherman Crancer, Senior Partner Channel Development Manager, and welcome to the panel, Strategies from the Titans of Sales and Industry. We've got a fantastic show today. We have Chicago finally back after their big, huge snowstorm. So thank you. So why don't we go ahead and move into real quickly just the introductions. As you know, you have myself, Sherman Crancer, Senior Partner Development Manager, and you have my co-host, Jason from Chicago. Jason, why don't you just go ahead and introduce yourself and then maybe your partner that's here today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sherman. I appreciate it. So Wayne, if you'd like to go ahead and kick off the introductions, I'll introduce myself and send it back to Sherman. So go ahead.
Cool. Yeah, I'm Wayne Chapin, president of Xerillion. We're a managed IT services company based here in the Chicago metro area. And we primarily put in managed cloud services powered by the Microsoft Cloud, Microsoft 365 Enterprise, and Microsoft Azure.
Cool. Thank you, Wayne. So Jason Hinton, I work with Wayne and some other partners here in Illinois. I'm glad to see some of them on the call today. So thank you so much for joining. And we're just excited to be a part of this and have our first guest partner in studio. So thanks. Back to you, Sherman.
All right. Thank you very much, Jason. So let's go ahead and get into growth here. Now, you know what we want to do here is I think we're going to switch this over and actually pass this over to Jason Hinton over in Chicago. And we're going to have him actually, start with some of the questions here so we can get this started. Jason?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sherman. So Wayne, first question. What do you think is a good, healthy growth goal for folks running businesses like yours, and then what's the stretch goal look like, a legitimate stretch goal? So if you share your thoughts.
Yeah, so our goal for 2018 is 25% from last year. That's the goal we're targeting. That's what the team goal is around. Our profit sharing goals are all around that. And then we have we're calling the gravy goal, which is above that, which is for 35%.
That's awesome, 35%. So just to give partners a baseline for what I'm seeing in my partner community when we're talking about overall growth. So this isn't just Microsoft. I would love for your Microsoft goals to be even higher. That'd be awesome. But typically people are talking about somewhere between 10 and 15%, which I think is a really good, healthy margin. But what we're talking about with some of the profitability plays is how do we get more to that 25, 35 and above percentage points. And as you can see with Sherman's top 10, we got some people that are growing really, really quickly over last year. So this is always a good one for me. Understanding what the blockers are, right? Because if the blockers are something we can do something about, then I want to know. So Wayne, what would you say is one of the biggest blockers to growth that you see in your industry?
So this one is near and dear to my heart, and it's getting the technical resources skilled up. It's a cloud-based world, and you can find quite a few people who know, for example, Windows Server technology, Exchange Server, stuff like that. But then for them to skill up and know stuff for SharePoint Online, OneDrive, Yammer, Teams, Skype for Business, the Microsoft phone system, how Windows Enterprise works, EMS, and the advanced features of Office 365, stuff like that, that's a big change for most IT pros. And so, here at Xerillion, we have to build those people. I don't go and post a job posting and then get a whole bunch of resumes back like I could for people who knew servers and firewalls and stuff like that. You got to build those cloud engineers. So staying on that, on those, and everybody to get their training, their certifications done. Microsoft has a tremendous amount of those resources available. The leadership of the company has to figure out where those are, identify those, and keep moving the team forward, because in general, people love to know the information. They love having the certifications, but they don't like the process of getting to that point. And that's where the leadership has to come in. There has to be a training manager pushing the team.
Yeah, no, see, that's an interesting point too, Wayne, because one of the challenges we found with some of the partners is they go, I have a goal to be in Azure. I want to grow into my Azure practice or something. And then I go, but you don't have anybody who can deliver it on your side, right? So one of the things that's really key is we are limited sometimes as a partner development manager providing those support resources around specific clients and opportunities. But we do have some other trainings and things like that coming up. We do want to work with you, but Wayne's hitting on it. You got to have the talent in-house to deliver.
Jason, let me pass it on over to you. And Wayne, how can Microsoft help you get farther faster? And then afterwards, we want to play Tim Tetrick's Azure backup video.
So Wayne, How can Microsoft help you get farther faster?
So interesting you asked that, because I feel like I'm overwhelmed with support, and I mean that in the best way. I'm serious. Um,
I did not pay him to say that. That was totally him.
It is me, and I get so much attention in this area. What I need to do, and what I do is say, okay, what things am I going to pick that I can work with and bring to our team, whether it's our marketing person, our sales person, and our technical team, which I've talked a little bit about that already. The one thing I would say is, sorry, I'm going to go back to training again, but this is near and dear to my heart, and it's really important to drive these solutions, but would be that the techs get very excited about having an MCSA, but so they have that for Office 365. They don't have something like that for EMS. They don't have something like that for Windows Enterprise. I know there's variances of that, but my point is they like to see that MCSE, and they like to have that. The partner university stuff gets the training done, but it doesn't give them that MCSE. So that would be the only thing that I would say.
Okay, cool. I would say from a partner community, the more you put in, the more you get out. And so it is a give-get. And so don't hesitate to ask. And Thomas and I are always for you. And Sherman, now it's time for TNT, right?
Yeah, well, actually, we're going to go ahead and play the Azure backup video, because we want to show how we want to help you. And this is Tim Tetrick. He's our partner technical strategist, and it's really fantastic.
So before we jump into all that, just want to quickly talk about some of the backup challenges that we hear from customers today. So from our customers today, we hear that traditional backup solutions can be very costly to manage. So those disk and tape storage media solutions, very costly to manage. We also hear that those traditional backup solutions don't effectively scale to address the tremendous growth in data that we see. Data continues to grow and grow, and if I have to provision new storage media all the time to try to keep up with that, it can be very costly, and doesn't allow me to be as agile as I'd like to be as an organization. For those distributed organizations that have branch offices, trying to maintain backup infrastructure for those can be especially expensive and difficult to maintain. Lots of overhead involved there. And then finally, restoring data. So when we look at trying to restore data from traditional offsite, tape storage methods, takes way too long and has way too much of an impact on the business when you're trying to wait for that data to get restored. So let's talk a little bit about Azure Backup. Two pieces to Azure Backup. There's the traditional on-premises data backup, and then there's also the ability to back up Azure virtual machines. So first, let's look at protecting your on-premises data. So with Azure Backup, you can back up your files and folders. You can back up clients and servers. You can also protect those application workloads that are running on premises, things like SharePoint, Exchange, SQL Server, even your Hyper-V and VMware VMs that are running on premises can be backed up as part of Azure Backup. Azure Backup also gives you a great disk to cloud capability. So if you want to do your short-term backups to disk and then do a long-term backup to cloud, you also have that option. Azure Backup helping organizations really eliminate tape by leveraging the cloud to do those backups, and really helping you to save money, and then again helping you to reduce those recovery times. Being able to leverage Azure Backup can really give you that infinitely scalable backup solution. So when you need new storage, again, not having to provision traditional storage methods, but I get with Azure Backup a instantly scalable backup solution and an infinitely scalable backup solution that can accommodate any size data. Again, those backup, the backup for branch offices, the cloud really helping to drive down those costs and helping reduce the overhead and the management and the hardware costs associated with that. And then finally, helping organizations meet their regulatory compliance requirements. We know a lot of customers have those regulatory compliance requirements, and with Azure Backup allowing you to get long-term data retention of 99+ years. Secondly, as I mentioned, ability with Azure Backup to back up Azure virtual machines. So I can get those application consistent backups of running Windows and Linux virtual machines in Azure without impacting my users at all. Allows me to quickly recover from application errors, human errors, even malicious attacks, things like ransomware. Great capabilities in Azure Backup to help protect against all of those. And again, finally, whether it's data on premises, Azure VMs, helping me to meet that regulatory compliance requirements that a lot of customers have, and giving me that long-term data retention.
Thank you very much, Tim. I really do appreciate it. We need to make the first of the two big announcements, and that first one is government will be in CSP starting in Q4. And lastly, the second big announcement is nonprofits. Well, nonprofit SKUs will be in CSP next month as well. Jason, back to you.
Perfect. So, Wayne, on the buyer side, right? And this is one of the things that you got to take their perspective. So this is separate from your business. You're hiring somebody to do work for you, right?
Yeah.
What is it that draws you to one firm over another when you're trying to hire somebody to do a big project for you, like a home project or something like that?
Sure. Price is definitely down the list. I want to meet with them. I want to meet with them first, obviously, feel that there's a rapport, and I want to hear substance and credibility in what they're talking about. I'm listening to make sure there's not a lot of BS in the conversation. I want to hear real, good, solid stuff. So that's what I'm looking for. And then after I feel comfortable with that, and the same thing with the people that we hire, I don't even have a compensation discussion until I really have listened to everything this person can bring to the table. I feel real good about. Then I want to know what the price is. So what I'm looking for is content and credibility.
So we're talking about trust first. So one of the things we are going through with a lot of the partners here in Illinois is the buyer 2.0 mentality. And so that marketing is not just a lead generator, but somewhere where people can build credibility, because people are researching them before they even talk to them, right? So the salesperson is critical, but the salesperson isn't as critical if all of the thought leadership and other things that credential the organization draw you in first. And I agree, if I'm getting someone to do a project and I start looking at their website and other things and their ratings and reviews and it's not there, I'm never even calling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so Jason, do you want to ask Wayne about or the LinkedIn question? So I think that's a pretty cool one.
All right, so in terms of LinkedIn, I'd like to know what was the best last LinkedIn post that you wrote and shared with your network, and then what was the best one that you read? So give me both.
Okay. Let me think for a second here. One that I posted recently, I probably post maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
It was mine.
The last one I think was the one that I posted where I saw that Microsoft had an offer to effectively buy out contracts for companies that had Dropbox or Box.com. So they're saying we'll finish out your contract, you switch over to OneDrive, and then you won't owe us anything until the contract's over. And I thought, wow, that's cool. I posted that. And then the one I read, there's somebody I don't know her personally. She's at Microsoft. Her name is, I think, Diana Ishtok.
Yep.
Anyway, she mentioned something about marketing that stuck with me. Something about you consider it like a daily vitamin that you take. You're taking it and you're taking it, and you have faith that it's going to eventually lead to long-term success. I like that post.
Excellent. So Deanna, by the way, is one of our great resources for the SMB partners, because she and her team are helping us break down some of these massive playbooks that some of which apply to small to medium-sized business partners, some don't. And there are a lot of resources that we can leverage from a marketing perspective with them. And I talked to one of her peers. We're going to try to get Deanna and Jenny and some others on that team to be a part of the panel, record some sessions so that we can get that information out to you as well. But Wayne, thanks for noting that. So Wayne, any final thoughts you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, my constant refrain, skill up, technical side and the sales side as well. Get your skills up in this new cloud IT system that we're in.
Perfect.
All right, thank you everyone from Chicago. Thank you to the partners that have come from the great state of Illinois. Okay, as well as the great state of California. Thank you, everyone. My name is Sherman Crancer from Microsoft, and I want to say thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you, guests.
Yeah.